What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today we're going to be learning about guild management, and today I brought KittyKay to tell us all about what it's like being a GM and all the stress and everything that goes into behind the scenes events and how to run a guild. So do you want to introduce yourself? What do you do?
Sure, hi. I'm KittyKayTTV, but you can call me Kay. I'm the GM for the Kitty crew over here on NA. I'm an 841 GS Succession Megu, working on maxing my AP. I've been playing BDO for a little over 2 years now.
When did you start playing? When did you start making the guild? What's your goal for that?
Yeah, I started playing BDO in March of 2024. So I created the Kitty crew with one of my best friends. I am Serenade. Like 4 days later. So just a few days after we started playing the game. And I was absolutely hooked on BDO from the very start. I've been looking for an MMO to play that checked all my boxes, and BDO just happened to be it. Like, they have the beautiful and flowy combat system with the ability to make your own combos, all sorts of different life skills to explore, especially sniper hunting. That's still my favorite, and my highest life skill. It has a warm and welcoming community. They helped me so much as a new player. The endless grinding, Gamba, all of it. So much different stuff that makes it the perfect MMO for me, and why I created a guild.
Oh, that's awesome. Were you a streamer at the time? And did you start your guild with the intention of like, hey, I could invite my viewers? Or did you just start it as like a private community with your friends and then it went from there?
We were already streaming a little bit before I started playing. I wouldn't say that I had the viewership that I do now by any means. I absolutely exploded with BDO. But I still would have made the guild even if I wasn't a streamer. In every MMO that I've ever played, I've always been the one to organize the parties or the clans or the guilds. Whatever kind of game that had, or whatever kind of system that game had for multiplayer. But I move and I travel a lot, so making IRL friends that I get to see often is difficult. So I really value my online friendships and enjoy meeting new people, which is one of the reasons that I started streaming in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does your guild do? Like, is it mostly PvE focused, PvP? Do you do everything?
We started out as a PvE guild, mostly just because we were running around in Tavala. PvP wasn't really an option at first. We had no idea what we were doing. Arguably, we still don't know what we're doing. But we have transitioned to PvX. We attempted a few node wars a couple months ago, and guildies decided they wanted to practice more in like Red Battlefield and battle arenas and such. Learn their super armors and get some PvP experience rather than just getting absolutely demolished over and over again in T1s. It's something we're currently revisiting, as a lot of our members have decent gear now, and they're ready to get into node war. So we do have one scheduled, actually, for this coming Sunday, which is great. We do participate in Blue Battlefield, though, quite often, and we've done pretty good there, winning a lot of nodes. I think it's more enjoyable for everyone. Like, we're giggling as we shoot other ships.
Yeah.
It's very lighthearted, and we're basically guaranteed rewards every time, so I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
But we are a new player-friendly guild, so...
Yeah, what kind of requirements do you have?
No gear score requirements, but we do ask that you have a friendly attitude and
just don't be a weirdo.
Yeah, basically.
I'm actually glad in BDO that they have a lot of different, game modes. Like recently we had the Guild League, which was always fun, but I'm pretty sure only like the top competitive people actually do that for the most part.
Yeah, we haven't participated in it yet. Looks
and then
fun,
Node Wars, do you guys get a lot of mercs, or is it mostly... What's your attendance like, if you want to share that?
We are pretty much always running at max capacity for 100 members, so it's kind of hard to have a bunch of different mercs and stuff. I would say we get close to 20, typically a little under that, as we do have a lot of new players, like I said.
Oh, so like you do like tier 1s, tier 2s, and everything?
Just tier 1 at the moment. We're babies.
Oh. Yeah, so you start somewhere. It's always good.
Exactly.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you, like, what kind of stuff happens behind the scenes since you're the leader? Always curious to know how much effort you're putting in. So is it like easy to run, or is it stressful? What's it like for you in particular?
So I work from home, so it's not too difficult. The hardest part is making sure I'm still awake at 9 o'clock for guild bosses and Blue Battlefield. But my staff is absolutely wonderful. I literally couldn't ask for a better crew. They have great communication and work together really well. If I'm not able to attend something like guild bosses, It'll run as smoothly as if I was there, or even better. For a long time, I thought that I had to do it all, but that creates burnout really, really fast.
Yeah,
And
for
I found
sure.
that, yeah, I found that delegating tasks and setting expectations for each role within the guild really takes away all this stress. It makes it a lot easier. Um, One of my guild staff members, Six, he posts instructions in guild chat after each boss as to where you're supposed to go, like how to get there, assist you if you need further help. Him and another guild staff member, Uno, they create platoons and set allowances, fix permissions. All that stuff is pretty much done before I even hop online. The
Oh,
same
that's
goes with like
awesome.
other stuff. Yeah, like they organize and sail out to Bell on Sundays and Wednesdays. There's just so much that I don't even have to worry about. But it's so refreshing to see people take charge like that and get it all done because it wasn't always that way. Like, I think a lot of people want to join leadership in a guild for the status, right?
Hmm.
Like, not for the work. But time and time again, we'd get these guildies who would help out a lot while working up to real leadership, like our trial positions before officer. And once they'd make it, they'd just disappear. Like, they'd stop doing their responsibilities, and
Yeah.
that made it stressful. So I think that finding the right people for leadership is what determines whether or not it's easy to run the guild, regardless of your schedule outside the game.
Hmm. Yeah, I think in the 10 years I've been playing this game, I've been in about like 6 different guilds in at least an officer position for all of them. And it's been like
Wow.
pretty stressful, like not necessarily managing people, but like there's different personalities of people you just have to kind of watch over at all times. And
For sure,
yeah.
for sure.
So like when you're starting everything, is it like do more people generally show up when you're there versus like let's say your officers were to run it, do you get less or more attendance generally?
No, I think it's about even. Like I really only put on the GM hat when when needed. Otherwise, it's very much a community, and I do have a lot of other wonderful content creators in my community, like Lacey Bainey and Mushy Ice. So all of our communities are pretty intertwined and they overlap. Everybody makes friends with everybody, and it's a real community. We all hang out together.
Yeah, that's good. So do you generally, you said you mentioned trialing people for the guild. How does that work? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want to join this guild, but they don't really know how trials work. So can you explain that?
Yeah, so we really just do that for our leadership. So if you're interested in leadership, after you become an apprentice and you're a general member, once you have gone to your first guild boss, we set you as a cannoneer, which just says to us, hey, their permissions are set, they should have allowances, they should be taken care of for the most part, we don't have to worry about them. And once you've done that, you can apply to be a mission specialist, which is like our starting point for everything, right? The only new responsibilities that you have is that you can pop guild missions and you can pop guild skills. So it's not too crazy, but it's kind of your first step in the door of us seeing, hey, can you handle some responsibility? And then after a little bit of time, if you want to move up further, you can apply for that for quartermaster, which is pretty much the same thing, except you can like run the guild galley if you need to.
Oh, yeah, your guild does it a lot differently because the way my current guild does it is when you join, obviously you just get put into that, what is it, the bronze rank or whatever. And then we have
Yeah.
a Google Doc forum to fill out. It's like, hey, what's your availability? What do you like doing? Kind of. And then once you fill that out, you get promoted to that mission specialist. And then it's kind of like, here, do we know you? Have you been participating in the guild? And then you
Right,
get
right.
promoted from there if they wanted to. So yeah, it's always interesting to see how other guilds do it. And then especially like the PvPer guilds, they actually look at attendance and everything. I don't know how strict yours is for that.
We're not we're not super strict on attendance, I would say. We definitely have like kick timers that go up the further up you are in staff, as well as like vacation timers and stuff like that. We do a similar application process like you were saying. Um, but not we're not super hardcore about it. Like we get you got a life outside the game. We're very casual, I guess.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to ask is every guild I've been in has some sort of like, you're gonna do a world boss. Let's say, guild bosses at 3 o'clock. Do you start at that time, or do you generally give people like 10 minutes to show up, or what's your expectations on punctuality?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. So we use a Discord bot called Raid Helper in conjunction with notification roles in Discord. So if there's a type of event you'd like to participate in, you just grab the role and get pinged about 12 hours before it starts.
12
That way you can
hours,
sign
holy.
up or... Yeah, okay, listen, I had it as like 2 hours before because I was like, that's plenty of notice, right? And people are like, hey, that's not enough time. So
Yeah,
I
our guild
extended
has like a
it.
30-minute notice, and it's like you show up or you don't.
Right, that's how I felt too, but they asked for more time because they're sometimes at work or something and wanted a bit more time, which is fair. I get it. But our sign up typically ends about an hour before we have to sign up for something like Blue Battlefield.
Hmm.
So if there's enough interest, we just sign up. If not, we try again the next day. But for guild bosses, typically a staff member's around like 30 minutes early, and they start platoons for if you're ready. And you just sit there and get your permission set, your allowances. If you need help, ask then. Pretty easy. For stuff like Blue Battlefield, we're there about 15 minutes before, and we meet at the geologist in Velia and pick them up on the galley instead of trying to fight to be on the correct boat at the wharf like everybody else. Makes stuff so much smoother. You're not on the wrong boat getting kidnapped out into the middle of the ocean.
So do you start on time, or like, let's say everyone's already grouped up, and then 5 minutes into it, someone's like, "Oh, is there still room?" Are you just like show up or something, or do you wait for people to start?
We never wait for anybody to start. If bosses start at 9 p.m., you're either there or you're not. Catch up
Holy,
where
my
you're at.
guild needs to take notes. I'm gonna send that to them.
We did do that for a long time. We would wait, and we would wait, and we would wait, and they would take 40 minutes. Our guild bosses have been taking us
Okay,
23.
that's a little too long. Like usually it's like, "Hey, can you be here in 5 minutes or we're starting," kind of thing. But
Like,
I like guilds that start on time when they say they're gonna start. So yeah, I'm glad you guys do that. That's awesome.
yeah, I mean, we have like typically about 40 people or so sign up and show up at our bosses. Sorry, and yeah, I really value people's time. You're not gonna waste everybody's because you were late, right?
Absolutely. What are the craziest experiences you've had in your guild? Like, you don't have to name names, but like, I don't know, sometimes like you've just gotten so annoyed that someone shows up late or is like not following instructions, kind of those things. I
I
assume
think
you
I
don't
told
have those
somebody to kick
regularly, but
rocks. They were super late, and they were like, "I'm autopathing on my horse," and I'm like, "You are late. Get here or kick rocks. Like, what do you want from me?"
I know, yeah.
Um, we're so busy right now.
Yeah, in my guild, we've definitely had a lot of, without naming names or anything, we just had incidents where people are like, "I'm going to show up late," and then take up everyone's time and then start arguments with other people of like, "You're not doing this right." And it's like, okay, dude, chill
It
out.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say the craziest things never really happen within the guild. They're always something outside. Like, people still kind of have their own version of one-sided GPGs, and it's just that they pull up and murder you wherever they see you in the world. The whole guild.
Oh,
But
how do you
nothing too
manage that?
chaotic.
I'm actually curious. Because have you been playing this game for...
2 years. Just a little over.
Okay, so, well, back in the day, there was one-sided decks you can deck on another guild, and it wasn't, like, consensual. So then there was a lot more
Right,
PvP
right.
back in the day. How do you manage people who are just trying to, like, start fights, and you just tell them this isn't the guild, or...
Yeah, so I have done that, and they're like, we don't care. Sometimes I've tried to be friends with their leadership, and they're like, we just want GVG. So sometimes we participate in the GVG. We actually beat the crap out of the last one that we had to the point that they were asking us to not GVG anymore. And they turned tail and ran, and then they started murdering people again, and that happened. And so our guys, they were pretty toxic about it. Not gonna lie, there was nothing that I could do at that point. They were just following them around and absolutely demolishing them at that point in time. That they completely swapped home servers to get away from us. So I was like, okay, well,
Yeah, I guess
you
that's what
solved it,
happens
I
when
guess.
people advertise as, like, a PvX guild. Just, you get those people.
Yeah, we're definitely more PvE focused, but PvX is more like we'd rather participate in scheduled PvP activities rather than open world massacres.
Mm-hmm.
But things their own.
Yeah, for sure. So for you in particular, as the GM, do you have to manage your time, like your IRL and guild activities and running the guild and just playing the game naturally? How do you break that down?
I would say that a lot of my guild members have come from stream in one way or another, or they watch stream. So I do get to interact with a lot of them on stream. So I don't feel too terribly like I'm missing out in the community aspect other than just not being in voice chat with them.
Hmm.
But I would say that content creation in terms of like I have to get up early and make patch note videos now or global labs videos or just edit YouTube shorts in general. A lot of that definitely takes out of my time to play the game and to hang out with friends. But guild activities are typically in the evening, and I've kind of transitioned to streaming in the morning, so it's not too bad. I'm pretty available for those things now.
I wish I was a morning person, to be honest. I used to be when I was back in school, and then I don't know about a lot of other people, but you know how like in high school and everything, you had to get up early in the morning, and then college is like most people's first taste of freedom in a way. So I was like, I want to do evening classes. Turns out I didn't like that, but
Yeah, just
I
waiting
wish I was a
around all
morning
day.
person.
Like, what do I do? I wouldn't say I'm really an anything person. I have the most inconsistent sleep schedule of anyone I've ever met. Sometimes you'll catch me in the day, and then I will be a night owl. There's no
Same.
telling.
My sleep schedule, like this past month, has been all wonky. Sometimes I wake up at 8 in the morning. Sometimes I wake up at like 1 in the afternoon. Weird. Are you involved in a lot of your guild activities, like in voice? I know you said you're not always there, but on stream. But like, you know, when you're not doing anything for content, do you just generally sit in your guild voice chat and everyone's just there hanging out and chilling?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a mix of guildies and people from stream for sure. There's almost always someone in a voice chat in my Discord, always hanging out. We play all sorts of other games together too. It's not just BDO. We're currently
Nice.
playing Windrose and Minecraft, all sorts of silly stuff.
It's always good having a guild that's more of a community versus just everyone's locked into one guild. But I understand that's
Agreed.
kind of the game. But yeah, turning
Yeah.
it into a community is fun. Okay, so a few more questions. One is, where do people find you if they want to join a guild, and who would they contact? Is it you or your staff?
You can contact me or any officers or staff in the kitty crew like Uno or Six or Evan. But you can also find us on the in-game little guild recruitment page, and you can apply there, or you can join the Discord / the kitty crew. And we'll get you in that way too.
Awesome. So how does your guild recruit? Is it generally people just know you from stream, or do you advertise on like the official BDO Discord? I know they have a channel for that somewhere, or in like World Chat, I've seen people advertise their guild.
Yeah, I have quite the advantage being a streamer for sure. A new player friendly one at that. So we do have a lot of people join from stream and more recently YouTube as I've started into that space. We often have an application or two a week that's pretty random. They just found us on the guild recruitment page because we are on there and they thought we'd be a good fit for them. But we really don't have to advertise. They just kind of find us.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's most of the questions I wanted to ask. What do people expect when they find your stream?
I am always grinding for sure. At the later spots right now, but I'm also doing my treasure grinds. So I've got 2 of my RMR pieces so far, so we're working on the rest of those. I got arguably the most difficult one, Olin's piece recently.
Oh,
It was
congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. And my friends were so mad.
Dude, my ring
I
took me like 700 hours. I was so
Oh,
happy to be
no.
done.
Eek. I'm happy you got it done too. That's crazy. I've heard of some people spending like 500 hours at a spot, and I'm like, I would give up.
Aside
For
from
sure.
Olin's, I think my worst piece was Paddocks.
Oof. I have paint going for that right now. I hope it goes soon.
I'm glad most people, like Sakraya, got buffed recently, and people are actually making decent amounts of silver there. So I'm glad that's
Yes.
at least a buff.
I love it there. That's where I'm grinding right now while running paint. It's so nice. But I also do dungeons on stream, as well as the party bosses or black shrines, whatever you want to call them. You do
Oh.
those. Sometimes guild events, but I typically like to be in voice chat with my guildies during those, so it's hard to have that many people in a voice chat and stream at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. It's overwhelming. But I think, like, how long have you been streaming for?
Maybe a few months before I really got into BDO.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're probably used to it. You can multitask. But anyway, it was interesting to learn about more behind the scenes with you as a GM, what it's like running the guild and everything. You want to tell people where to find you and what kind of content you make?
Yeah, you can catch me live on Twitch at KittyKayTTV Monday through Friday, and a video or two almost every day on YouTube. I make all sorts of silly shorts as well as Global Lab and Passion videos.
Yeah, I remember finding you through your Global Lab and Patch Note videos. Is there anything else you want to expand into going forward?
Yeah, I thought about making guides for various things, but I consider myself more of a jack of all trades, master of none sort of person.
Oh, you should just do it then. Like, anything exclusive you want to tell us before you announce it? Like, what kind of stuff you're working on? Or is that a secret?
No, not a secret. Definitely some guild boss guides, things that are more in depth for Con, especially after updates to that boss, like almost a year ago now. There's not a lot out on that. And of course, sniper hunting. That's about it at the moment that I have for ideas.
Oh, awesome. Does your guild do all the party bosses, like Blue Clad and Prince as well? Because I know those are very hot topics for boss guides, like you mentioned.
Not yet. It's something we want to get into. We do run Beyond, which is fun, but a difficult one to figure out at first.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely more mechanics than the usual. But yeah, it's been great having you on. I'll leave a link to all your socials, your Twitch, YouTube, and everything in the description, how you guys can find her if you want to join her guild as well. And yeah, with that said, thanks so much for joining. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Thank you. And we will see you later. Peace.